Hi everybody, and welcome back to our channel. So today we're going to be making cookies, and we're excited to be a part of a collab called Frugal Family Fridays, and Amanda from the Fundamental Home and Tangi from the Carver's Wife invited us to be a part of their December collaboration, which was every family was making cookies of some kind. So today my family, we're going to be a little bit ambitious over here at One Mom, and my cookies are going to be, Devil's Food Fudge cookies. But in addition to that, we're going to also be making lemon snowdrops and lemon snowflakes and red velvet snowflakes. So that's what they're called. And we're doing it pretty easy. Mostly everything that I do is kind of semi-homemade, so I don't do any measuring out of the flour and all of that stuff. That's just not things I keep in my home. But I use cake mixes. So our cookies are going to be made out of cake mixes today. So again, we're doing 3 cookies. I'm doing Devil's Food Fudge cookies. My son is doing lemon snowflakes. And my daughter is doing red velvet snowflakes. So we're going to jump right in and tell you what we're doing. The first thing you need to know is that we have our oven preheated to 350 degrees. All of our cookies are going to cook for the same amount of time. So if you're going to do multi-cookies, it's always good to find something that you can cook at the same rate of time. The snowflakes will take about 2 to 3 minutes longer than the Devil's Food, but we're good on that. So we're going to get started and get our cookies going. So I'm going to start first. Mom's going to start first. I'm doing the Devil's Food Fudge cookies, and this is what it's going to look like. So of course I'm using a Duncan Hines cake mix. You can use any cake mix you like. This does not have to be, it's whatever you have on hand. And most of you know that I coupon pretty regularly, so this is what I had on hand. So I'm going to take this in a large bowl, and I am going to open up my cake mix. I'm going to pour it in. Cake mix. To that, I'm going to add in 2 large eggs, which we already pre-took out. We took those out ahead of time. So 2 large eggs. I'm also going to add in a 1/2 cup of oil. This is just regular vegetable oil. That's 1/2 cup of vegetable oil. Then I'm going to add in 1/2 cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips. But I wanted to do a little something different than just doing the regular semi-sweet chocolate chips. So I'm going to actually add in a 1/4 cup of semi-sweet chocolate and a 1/4 cup of the white chocolate. So remember, into here I only have 1 Devil's Food cake mix, 2 eggs, 1/2 cup of vegetable oil. I'm adding in a 1/4 cup of the white chocolate chips. That's a 1/4 cup of the white chocolate chips. And then I'm going to add in a 1/4 cup of the semi-sweet chocolate chips to make 1/2 cup. Now the original recipe called for half a cup of the dark or the semi-sweet, but I wanted to mix it up a little bit. And that's all. Oh, one more thing. I needed a 1/2 cup of chopped walnuts, but I don't like walnuts. So I'm actually going to add in a 1/2 cup of chopped slivered almonds and pecans. And I just chopped these up. I did get these with a coupon. Yes, I did. So that is a 1/2 cup of the slivered almonds and the 1/2 cup of chopped pecans. So I just put it together, and however much made a 1/2 cup, as long as it was a 1/2 cup. And that's all I'm going to use into my recipe. So now Jackson's doing the lemon snowflakes. So what he's going to do is take his cake mix, and Alana can open up her cake mix at the same time because they're doing lemon and red velvet. And again, to cut a few corners, what we're doing is we're using the cake mixes. So this is a super moist lemon cake mix. It just happens to be Betty Crocker. We don't necessarily subscribe to this brand or anything. But this has the pudding mixture inside of it. So it's the super moist. And so we're going to take just one package of the lemon into his bowl. And then Sister's taking a package of the red velvet into her bowl. And we're going to clean as we go, because that's just how we do it. Clean as we go. Then to this, we're going to add in 1 egg. For Alana, she did 1 red velvet cake mix. She did 1 egg. Then we're going to add in 2 1/4 cups whipped topping. So 2 1/4 cups of whipped topping for each of them. And this is just extra creamy, of course. Half measuring cup. So how many of these do you need to be 2 cups, Jackson?
4.
4 of those. So he's going to scoop out 4 of these. We hope we get 4.
2.
We only got 3 for measure. So we're just going to scoop the rest of this out. So that's going to give us our 1/4 measure. It's a little bit short on the 1/4, but we'll get it all worked out in a minute. And then we're going to add in just 1 more of this one. Okay. Alrighty then. So we're going to pass that down the line. So again, into the lemon snowflakes, we have 1 lemon cake mix. We have 1 egg, 2 1/4 cups of whipped topping, and then we're just going to begin to stir. You can do your fork. We'll do our fork.
What about the sugar?
Nope. Just do your fork. Be really careful. And again, as we start to clean up some of our trash, our extra chips, we're actually going to put those in the fridge. So back to Mama's cookies, I'm going to stir, stir, stir. So it's kind of a sticky consistency, and these are going to be what are called drop cookies, because we're going to drop these onto our cookie sheet. So these are the Devil's Food Chocolate Fudge. Lemon snowflakes. These are going to be a little bit more sticky. So I'm going to help get the batter ready. And this is a little bit more of a sticky dough. And you just want to make sure you have everything well incorporated. Use a cookbook called Taste of Home Cookbook Cake Mix Creations. I bought this years and years ago. And I only bake around the Christmas season because I'm off from work then, and I have way more time to do it. And it's amazing what you can do with a cake mix. I mean, absolutely amazing what you can do with 1 cake mix. So I'm just helping to make sure that this is well incorporated. It says this makes about 5 dozen cookies, so they won't be really, really big. And we just have a little bit of that cake mix at the bottom. It's sticky though, very sticky, so this may require some adult strength. I do like to bake with my kids during the season because it's like an activity that we can do together. So to the lemon snowflakes, the only thing we added in was 1 lemon cake mix that was super moist. It had the pudding in already in the cake mix. 1 egg, 2 1/4 cups of whipped topping. And then we're going to use this confectioner sugar to roll our cookie mixture in. We're getting ready to start dropping our cookies. And we're going to get our little assembly line going. Again, we have our oven preheated to 350 degrees. We've got 2 ungreased cookie sheets. I'm going to take a little bit of cooking spray and spray my spoon so that my cookies drop off pretty simply. Spoon. Another spoon of cooking spray, just so our cookies don't stick. So I'm going to go ahead and get all of my cookie mix off of my fork. I'm going to take 2 spoons. So I've got my cookie mixture here. I'm going to take 2 spoons, just regular spoon spray with cooking spray, and I'm going to dip out about 1 spoonful of the mixture. Remember, I'm doing the Devil's Food fudge cookies. And I'm just going to simply take it from 1 spoon to the next to make that rounded kind of shape. And then I'm just going to lay it on my cookie sheet. Using the cooking spray on the spoons helps so that the mixture doesn't stick to the spoons. So I'm just going to do this until I have all of my cookies laid out. And if these are a little bit big for you, you can always cut them in half. You may cut down your cooking time because these are supposed to go between 8 to 10 minutes. So I'm probably going to do about 9 minutes just to make sure that they are cooked through, because this is going to be about, this is a pretty good sized cookie. With the lemon snowflakes, we're going to take our confectioner sugar, because this is a very, very sticky dough. It's very sticky, tacky to the touch, so it's very tacky. So I'm going to take my spoon and I'm going to, again, spray it with a little cooking spray. And I'm going to take just a little scoop of this. It's going to go into the confectioner sugar to give it a coating. Kind of almost like flour, but not quite. And once I've coated it pretty good, we're going to use a fork. Once I've gotten it pretty coated, we're going to take a fork and then set it. Tap, tap, tap the sugar off, and then set that on our, again, ungreased cookie sheet. And this is what it looks like. And here we have our red velvet ready for the snowflakes to be formed into snowflakes. So here are our cookies. We've got the Devil's Food chocolate fudge cookies. We have the lemon snowflakes that Jackson made. And we have the red velvet snowflakes that Sister made. So we're going to go into the oven with all of these cookies at the same time because they're going to take about 8 to 12 minutes. It's going to be about 12 on these. But because I made these chocolate ones a little bit thicker, I think I might leave these in about 9 minutes, 9 to 9 and a half, 10 minutes, just to make sure that they're all cooked through. So our oven is preheated to 350 degrees. We are going to set our timer to 9 minutes. Putting 2 of the small pans on the top and the large pan on the bottom. We're going to set our timer for 9 minutes. Timer has went off, and we're going to check our cookies to see what they look like. Our timer has gone off. It's been about 9 minutes, so we're going to check to see. I've got a couple cooling racks I just pulled out. So we're going to put our cookies on the cooling racks. At about 9 minutes, they don't look ready yet, so what I'm going to do is we put the timer back on for about 2 more minutes. So that'll be about 11 minutes total. The snowflakes were supposed to cook between 10 and 12 minutes, but because we made them, I made the chocolate Devil's Food Fudge cookies a little bit larger. I think that they'll be okay to cook about 11 minutes because they probably should have been a little smaller. We like substantial size cookies at our house, so we just made them substantially larger. But they do look really good, and they do look exactly like the pictures, like they were supposed to. So with the drop cookie, and then we rolled everything in the powdered sugar, they do look just like the snowflakes. So let's see what we got. These are our Devil's Food chocolate fudge cookies. They are a little still soft to the touch, but they do smell like they're done, so I'm not going to put them back on any longer because they do really smell like they're done, and I don't want them to burn. Our lemon snowflakes, actually you could see the confectioner sugar on top of there, so those turned out pretty well. I'm going to sit that on top of the one of the cooling racks. That's awesome. And then we have the red velvet snowflakes that just came out of the oven as well. So those look great as well. And I think the 11 minutes is enough, plenty enough. So let's see what we got. I'm going to let them just sit for a few minutes because they're really not firm yet, but they're done. These chocolate ones can't go back in for any length of time. They are done. So we're going to leave those there and begin to pull off these snowflakes onto the cooling rack so that we can get the other ones in there. So what I'm doing is I'm simply just taking my spatula, going right up underneath of them so they don't break, and then going right onto the cooling rack. cookies. We have for you the Devil's Food chocolate fudge cookies that we made out of the Devil's Food cake mix. The red velvet snowflakes that we made out of a red velvet cake mix using just whipped cream and an egg. And then we also have the lemon snowflakes. Now the original recipe called for the lemon snowflakes. And so what we did was we made up the mix again, 1 egg and then the whipped topping, and we rolled them in confectioner sugar, dropped them onto a cookie sheet, and we baked them. So these are our cookies. The lemon smells delicious, but the chocolate also smells divine. The red velvet ones are the prettiest. We're just excited about being a part of this collab and spending time together as a family, cooking, doing the things that we love so much. So we just want to say thank you for coming by our channel. We hope that you liked our cookie recipes. I'll leave the recipes down in the description box, along with the information from the Taste of Home, which is where I got the recipe for the snowflakes from. And also I'll leave a link. There'll be a card up in here for Frugal Family Fridays. There'll be a link. So make sure you go by and check out Amanda at the Fundamental Home. And then go by and check out Tangi at the Carver's Wife. And anytime you're looking for something to do, stop over at One Mom. And we'll see you next time we cook. Thanks for joining us. Bye.